Hi guys. So, I'm getting ready to travel and I'm a little nervous. I'm making this video just so I can get it out. My nervousness. Now, I'm a logical person, right? Like, I try not to make emotional decisions. But I'm going on a train, which I decided long before this. I decided to go on a train instead of a plane flight. I don't like planes. I don't like waiting in airports. It's too enclosed. So, I booked this train from where I'm gonna be to where I need to go. And it's like 16 or 18 hours. Now, all of my videos are demonetized, so I can go ahead and say the C word. You know what I'm thinking. The virus. And I'm just wondering if any of you guys have any tips. Now, so I live with an EMT, and he's putting together a whole kit for me. So I have wipes to wipe down all the surfaces in the train that I'm going to be touching. And I have a mask. For those of you who don't know, I have an autoimmune disease called lupus. So I'm in the whatever they call the risk category. But I'm also not old. And it seems like most people that get it are like old and stuff, so they don't know, they may have already been in like a home or something like that. I'm just scared. Mostly because I'm traveling and like everyone is saying, don't travel, don't travel. And I'm totally traveling. So I'm just wondering, do you guys like have tips or anything for me? I'm going to a really big city. Mostly I'm concerned because the train that I'm taking originates in New York City. And I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be alright. And my home is good. Like the CDC, when they say prepare your home, I've already checked off all those boxes. I mean, because I live with a first responder. So we're good there. But I'm just nervous about it. But I'm going to blog the whole thing. I guess a vlog. I'm going to vlog the whole thing for you guys. I think it'll be fine. And have a mask and everything. But you know. Today, I went to a Mexican restaurant against my better advice. And I was in there, and people, like this one lady, she scooped out something for herself. It was like a buffet situation, which I know, I know. But she put her whole hand in her mouth and like licked her fingers, and then went and grabbed another thing. And this other guy, he coughed everywhere. Coughed all over his hands, coughed everywhere, all over the food, and then continued to like touch things. So people like say there's a hysteria, but what I'm noticing is that most people are not paying any attention to it. And I'm just nervous about like the flu, right? I don't want to get the flu. And then there's this other thing that is more contagious than the flu that's happening. It seems like people are being even less careful than they are if they knew people had the flu around them. I think that's really irresponsible. Because what if the lady who stuck her whole fingers in her mouth, which, by the way, I have never seen before. I've never seen somebody stick all their fingers in their mouth and lick them and then go touch everything. But she was old. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, lady. You are in the highest risk group. Seems like there is no hysteria. Seems like people are just buying a lot of fucking toilet paper. You know, but they're not like paying attention to their personal hygiene. Meanwhile, there's like little kids coming up behind her, touching all the same things. I kind of wanted to call her out and be like, hey lady, don't stick your whole fingers in your mouth because you could infect all these little kids with the flu, right? So just like being worried about the seasonal flu, and then there's this other thing that's happening. It seems like nobody gives a shit, to be honest. They buy a bunch of toilet paper, but then they go out and they stick their whole fingers in their mouth. I saw people touching their nose like this, and then touching spatulas, and then going like this, touching spatulas. Like, for fuck's sake. If we can just all have some decent personal hygiene, maybe there wouldn't be as big of a deal. And then they said this thing on the news. They were like, oh, well, smokers are at a higher risk. Personally, I'm not worried about COVID. I'm just worried about people's personal hygiene. Like when I go to the bathroom, I'm a girl. Here's how it goes. I walk in. I walk into the bathroom. I open the door with my elbow. I hover above the seat so my body doesn't touch it. And then after I go, I use my foot, like I use my shoe to flush the toilet. And then I usually, like, I try to run the water if I can reach it with my elbow. And then I use hand sanitizer. Please tell me you guys do this. I think that the CDC and everyone is just trying to scare people into stopping smoking. Because I don't really think smokers are at a higher risk. I think what's happening is that everyone is at a higher risk because people are fucking gross. And I'm just wondering, like, I go to this big city and nobody gives a shit. And they're just, like, wiping their nose, wiping their eye, touching their mouth, and then, like, going out and touching handles and touching things. I know I probably sound like Howie. You know, like one of those people that's like a germaphobe. But now, like, I feel like you really need to be. I don't know. If you're a doctor or a nurse or something and you watch me, give me your tips. Real tips. Because all the first responders that I know are like, don't travel and don't touch anything. And I'm getting ready to travel and touch things. Fuck. What do you guys think? What are you doing in your home? How are you prepared? You should probably buy a carton of cigarettes, is all I'm saying. Just in case. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just curious what you guys are doing. And what should I be doing? Traveling on a train to a big city. And then being in that city for 4 days. Should I go to the tourist places or not? Should I avoid the tourist places? It just seems like the same people that are buying toilet paper are the same people that are sticking their whole hands in their mouth and then touching things. I couldn't believe it when I saw her do it. I was disgusted. Because why would you want to do that when you could be a flu carrier and then have little kids touching the same things, and then little kids get the flu and they die? I think that we should all just use common sense and be preventative. Like, people should just use hand sanitizer and wash their hands and not stick their hands in their eyeballs or their nose or their mouth and touch things. That makes sense to me. I'm not really afraid of the virus. I'm more afraid of people. People just not using common sense. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think. Comment below. Well, add me and click the bell to know when I upload new videos. But also comment me what you're doing to help prevent sickness. Like, what are you doing? It's like Kennedy said. What are you doing to help yourself and everyone else? I always say do something nice and do something nice for yourself, but now I feel like I should say do something nice for yourself and wash your goddamn hands. Just wash your hands. And don't stick your hands in your eyeballs or your nose or your mouth and touch other things. So yeah, this video is like a PSA / a question. I just want to know what I should be doing to protect myself and protect everyone else. So let me know. Comment down below and tell me what you're doing. And if you're a first responder or a nurse or a doctor, give me some advice on traveling and what I should be doing. Good night.